All right, welcome. I'm so excited to see so many of you, especially so many of you from Y1. Yay, happy to see you again. I just want to echo what Dean Dennis said. Welcome. I'm excited to see you. Welcome to Georgia Law Review. We are a community, and I am the librarian support pillar of this community. Who knows what the word code switching means? What does it mean?
Like between like a dialect you use in a formal space and informal space, your ability to go back and forth in different contexts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many of you know me as Professor Nolan, and you have been my students. Now you are my clients as a librarian. Some of you may be my students again, in which case you will have to jump and switch again. Some of you are also my employees, so you will have to switch. So we're going to be switching back and forth a lot. So when you are on Law Review or my employee, please feel free to refer to me as Savannah. If you are in my name, if you are in a class with my name on the syllabus, then we will revert back to Professor Nolan. But for now, you are my clients. I am here to help you. So, what are we going to talk to today? We are going to talk through the Student Journals Guide, which is the one-stop shop of everything you need to know about how the library can help you. Then we are going to talk about how to find known things, like for your cite checks. Then we're going to talk about finding unknown things, like for your note research. And we're going to do a little bit of a refresh about research logs. So first, the Student Journals Guide. A website you should all be very familiar with. The UGA Law Library website. Very pretty. We have these 6 main navigation points. I'm going to click on this Research Guide tab. Has anyone ever been here before? Yeah, okay. We're going to scroll down to where it says Student Journal Guide. And this is everything you could possibly want to know about the journals, including me. I am here for you. My email address, if you ever want to reach out to me. My office is behind the circulation desk. You can ask at the circulation desk if I'm there, if I'm free. They will shepherd you back to my office. We have specific site resources for you. Right now, it is pretty much just the Georgia Law Review page in Digital Commons, where you can see all of the past issues and the current issues that we have. We are in the process of uploading every single Georgia Law Review issue ever. As you can see, we are doing okay. We're not quite at all of them yet. It's a very long project. We have many librarians working on this. And we also have your website and blog that y'all run that goes back to about 2011. Eventually, you will not need this, but for now you do. That's all you have apart from the video of orientation from last year, which will eventually be replaced by this video that we're recording right now, in case you need a refresher. If there is anything that you think should be on this page that is not, let me know, and I will put it there. But since y'all are a general journal, that tends to be it, because y'all can go and do your notes in any direction you want. That's my understanding. Other areas of this journal that are important, this Student Notes tab. This will walk you through how to select a note topic and various research resources that you can use to help you with that. Who knew that we have access to the New York Times available to you for free? It's available right here. And the Wall Street Journal for free. All you have to do is sign up via these links. These can help you find these topics that are current and hip. One of the most important things that I'm sure Jake went over is you have to find a thesis. I did not know this when I was a 2L. It seemed to have escaped me. And I just did, I'm going to write about Section 106, the Library Exemption Clause. Someone was like, you need a thesis, an argument. You can't just do a book report. So an argument that has never been discussed before, a thesis. We also have a tab for site checking, including, does anyone know what stacking is? Okay, stacking is a helpful process where you can check out books directly to the journal, not to you individually. You can check them out to the journal and we will put them in a specific carrel. You just have to check out at the circulation desk and say, I want to check this out to the Georgia Law Review. And they will check it out to the journal itself and then put it in a special carrel area, instead of checking it out to you individually where you would be responsible for the book. That is what we call stacking. Another thing that we have available that we'll discuss a little bit later is interlibrary loan. If you take away nothing else from this discussion, never, ever, ever pay for something for site check. Never. We will get it for you, or make the author get it for you. Ask the author to get it for you. For a site check, ILL requests should be going through one person on the editorial board. I would point to Jake and ask who that is, but he has left the room. And there is one person on the editorial board who should be doing that for site check. If it is for your note individually, you'll fill out this ILL request form that's linked here. And it will take you to a form, fill out as much of that form as you possibly can. That helps our interloan librarian get you the book correctly. If you ask for a scan, she can usually get it in a day or two. If you need the whole book in your hot little hands, it'll take a while because we need to get it in the mail from whatever library, nation, or worldwide it's coming from. If that book is only available in Germany, we will ask Germany for it. They may or may not give it to us, but we will ask. We also have this link that has helpful video tutorials on the Blue Book. Honestly, y'all are already probably past these, based on what I saw earlier about how nitty-gritty y'all are getting into parenthetical 5 or 5 about the parentheticals and ellipses. But if you need some help. So that is the student journals guide. Everything you need to know about that for now. Any questions? This is the process for finding known things for site checks. In this order, first, I recommend you use the main library's journal finder or multi-search tool. Then use the law library's website, and then Google judiciously. And then you can ILL it, or interlibrary loan it. What does this look like? So I usually Google UGA main library and get to this page. When I worked at Georgetown, which I used to do, we would see what y'all typed in. And a lot of people would just copy and paste whole citations into the search bar. That does nothing. On the back end of the database, we do not have the Blue Book citation stored. So there is no data there to scrape and collect. That's not how databases work. The way that I would go about it is going for this journal by title. So if I'm looking for My 2L Note, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants by Savanna Nolan in the Journal of Intellectual Property Law, I would come to this journals by title and search for Journal of Intellectual Property Law, the actual journal itself. And this journal search is going to tell me what databases the university subscribes to that have this journal. You can see we have 2 results here and a couple of other results that have similar names. I'm going to click on this one. And it tells me we have two databases, EBSCOhost and Hein Online. But I want you to note the difference here. EBSCOhost only has it available from 2011. Hein has it available from 1993, which I know is the entire run of the journal. So if I'm looking for a note, the note we're actually looking for is from, I believe, 2012 was when it was published. But if it was from 2010, it's not going to be an EBSCOhost. My catchphrase here is do not search for buried treasure where you know the buried treasure cannot be. So we're going to look in Hein. And it's going to take me directly to the Journal of Intellectual Property Law in Hein. And then I can scroll down to 2012. Find the notes. I think it is. It's in one of these. It might have been in this one, 19. Yep, there we go. If you are not familiar with Hein Online, you are about to be, because Hein Online provides PDFs of the original documents. Hein Online is about to be your new best friend. I do not recommend that you use the search functionality of Hein Online because it is somewhat hot garbage. They say they updated over the summer and that it is better. So we're going to test it. You can see it searching through the Law Journal library right now. So we're going to search through for Savanna Nolan and see what we get. And it's doing okay. All right, it's getting better. It's still not great, but it's getting better. It at least notices that within 3 functionality, which it didn't used to do. I still recommend this approach first. I'll start with the journal, what you know. So that is one of the first ways of using this journal search functionality. Another way that you can go about looking for things using the main libraries page is to use this multi-search feature. And this I would recommend if you're looking for something where this journals by title didn't work or it's coming back funky. For this multi-search, I'm going to look for the title of it, standing on the shoulders, and I'm going to put that in quotation marks so it looks for it as a phrase. And I'm going to add Nolan because that is not as unique of a title as I thought it was when I was 22. And now you can see I get 2 results, and sure enough, they are in Hein Online and EBSCO Academic Search Complete. I have the PDF full text right there. Sometimes you might see a button that says UGA Access instead, and that will tell you where on UGA libraries you can access it from. Just keep clicking. And sometimes you will get to a page that says request it through ILL. In that case, request it through our ILL system, not theirs. Next, we have the Law Library's website. This I would use last, or in this process, mostly because we do not have the same kind of multi-level search capabilities that the main library does. So I can't search for the title of the article here, but I can search for the journal level. And of course, I can search for book titles. So when I search for Journal of Intellectual Property, I get a bunch of stuff, including y'all's editorial word manual. Eventually, I get this record that says where it is online. And it says in Westlaw, there are going to be a couple of other records in here that are going to point me to Hein. So it's not quite as clean, which is why I would use this later. It's also going to point you to the print records that we have. This is probably the Hein record here. Yep. Finally, for finding known things, Google judiciously. What do I mean by that? Especially with some of the things you're going to be pulling from these site checks. Some things may only be available as PDFs of government documents on agencies' websites. So I would recommend some advanced Googling. Do you know that Google has an advanced page? Excellent. This is not. How do you get there? You Google Advanced. And for some reason, it's coming up in Spanish.
Yeah, that's on me. Sorry.
Okay.
I would, you can open it in an incognito window.
Okay.
Or maybe try the web address bar on the right, there's the translate icon.
It's okay, I read Spanish.
But, okay.
But regardless, you can use this, or you can use an inline search. For example, cite USDA, and I'm going to search for canning. Nope, okay, it might still be in Spanish.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that later. But it did help me out earlier this week because some professors want their information to be free. So they will put it up on various websites, like our Digital Commons page. So you can Google things like professors' web pages and see if they've put up their information. I found something for Professor Ahmed earlier this week that she couldn't find anywhere that happened to be on a website called academia.com, which is a hub where professors put up their work and share their work with other professors. So you never know. Google, but ask accordingly. Some things that Google likes are quotation marks. So this should work, standing on the shoulders of giants. Savanna Nolan should come up with, yep, right away the Digital Commons where we have it posted. Because everything I've ever written is available on the internet somewhere. Finally, if all of that fails you, ask for an interlibrary loan. We will ask Germany to send it to us, etc. And Jake, who's your ILL person, your point person for?
That'll be Laura.
Laura.
Yeah.
Excellent. Any questions about that process? Okay. Then we are moving on to finding the unknown. Like when you're dealing with your notes. Again, I would start with the main library because they have this multi-search tool. And I'm going to search for the phrase controlled digital lending. In quotation marks. Does anyone know what controlled digital lending is? I would be very surprised. It is a brand new theory of copyright, where we're going to take books. This was invented by the former director of Georgetown and another librarian from Harvard, where they're going to take old books that are out of copyright, scan them, put them up on the internet, and put the physical copy of the book in a book jail in the basement of Georgetown's law library. And instead of circulating the physical copy, they're going to circulate the digital copy. One loan at a time. That's the theory. So it's a fairly new theory. It was invented in about 2014 by Michelle Wu. So you can see when I search for that keyword, I get 259 results. would think I would not be interested in this article that is in Croatian, because though I do speak and read Spanish, I do not speak or read Croatian. However, I'm going to click on this because this still has use to me as a researcher. Because I'm going to click on this subject term. The subject term means that a librarian or other information professional has gone through this article who does speak Croatian and has labeled this as being particularly about controlled digital lending, electronic books, communities, copyright, and the COVID-19 pandemic. That's what this article is about. So when I click on this, I see all of the other articles that are labeled as being about controlled digital lending. And now I only have 134 articles, which is a little bit more manageable. I can even cross-reference if I do the advanced search. You see I have this DE. That's a librarian code for that subject term. So I can add DE COVID-19 pandemic, since it's suggesting it for me. And so now let's see how many articles are about controlled digital lending and the COVID-19 pandemic. And now I get 6. I can read 6 articles. And sure enough, one of them is that article in Croatian. This is good verification that I did it correctly. So there are 4 actual good articles in English that I know I'm going to want to read here. One that has a PDF that I can read right away. One that has an HTML full text that I can read. And 2 that I'm going to have to click on this UGA access button and see if I can get a hold of. Maybe I'll have to ILL it. It looks like I'm going to have to ILL it or use the journal finder to see if I can find it. So this can be a way to kind of precision search. I like to think of it as kind of like bowling with bumpers, instead of just keyword searching to find any mention of my phrase anywhere. This is more streamlined and precise. So let's experiment, shall we? Who has an idea of what they want to write about? Ready? It's always like catching knives, like from the. Usually I have a gift.
Scaring me.
Yeah. If not, we're going to resort to my favorite drones. All right. Yes.
The presidential line item veto.
Okay. So we're going to search for presidential line item veto. And that keyword search is going to get us 1,300 search results. This looks promising. This is from 1997, but I get veto, I get line item veto, and I get presidential powers. So let's click on line item veto. And that gets me 69 results. And never forget these results are from 1985 to 2014. So 2014 isn't super recent, but I still like it. A lot of it is JSTOR. And I can still come to this advanced search and add the subject term presidential powers. Because we saw that in that first article. Now I get 6. This is not going to be the end of the research, but I definitely want to check these 6. Again, these are all kind of old, but that's to be expected because we're searching in JSTOR. JSTOR is kind of a historical database. For more cutting edge news, you're gonna wanna check, of course, Westlaw and Westlaw and Lexis, and actually Bloomberg Law. So. We have not covered Bloomberg Law, that was not on my list, but let's actually do that right away. We have not talked about Bloomberg Law yet. Let's see if I can remember my password. Research databases, Bloomberg Law. If you have not touched Bloomberg Law since last year, your username is very probably your UGA email address. This is a one-stop shop for cutting edge news. And it is very helpful for, especially in the practice centers, for finding news stuff. Bloomberg Law does a couple of things really well. They do dockets and they do news very, very well. So let's say you're interested in privacy and data security. This page is a one-stop shop of everything you could possibly want to know, including privacy and data security news. They have practitioner insights that are written by actual practitioners in the field. They have chart builders that you can use instead of, did you have to do 50 state surveys over the summer? It's a common summer associate task to say, look up every state's law on X topic. In fact, I'm sorry, research assistants for the law library, we are going to have some of you working on updating our marijuana laws research guide, 50 state surveys, it's coming up. So we look at every state's laws, but this makes that an easy task. You can just build it right away in the chart builder. It does it all for you, including marijuana law. They also have these practical guidance topics and maps. It's a great opportunity to poke around, especially in your field of interest as you're trying to zero in on a note topic. So we got a little off topic there. I strongly recommend that you keep a research log as you are poking around looking for your note topic. Keep track of search terms that you've tried, because sometimes they surprise you. Again, circling back to marijuana law, when I was at Georgetown, I was helping a student with a note on CBD oil laws. And we had CBD as a term, we had cannabidiol oil, which is the full name of CBD oil, but that is not what some states call it. Some states call it low THC hemp product. And we did not find that out until about halfway through her search process. So we had to go back and search through all the databases she had gone through with our new search term. So go keep the search terms you've tried. When you find something, make a note of what it is, why on earth you're saving it, and how you're going to find it again. What database did you pull it from? What journal is it in? Usually, a basic citation will be helpful with this. It doesn't have to be fancy. Mine are usually just a hierarchical Word document note, very similar to how you take notes for class. And I just keep bumping it in, like I use a keyword. I found this, from this, I found this, from this, I found this. And then when I get too many indents, I bump it back out again. It only has to make sense to you. And if you come and ask me for help, you can explain it to me. I am here to help you, especially as you go through the note process. Hit me with your weirdest requests. One of them at Georgetown was someone wanted to write a note about the evidentiary value of self-navigating drones. So that involved, they had no idea how to research this, but they wanted to write about it because they were former military services. So they had the legal stuff down, evidence. Now they wanted to know how to research the science stuff. And I can help you how to research the science stuff in a way that we're not going to talk about here today. So hit me with your best shot. Any other questions so far? Again, my email address is savanolan@uga.edu. You can ask me at the circulation desk. You are my clients, I am here to help you. If you ever get stuck with a particularly challenging site check, I can help with that as well. The 3Os will probably also kick it to me if they need help. So that's all I have.